welcome to Season 3, Episode 3 of the What You're Thinking podcast. I'm Eric.
I'm Vince.
Nolan.
Hey, Nolan. Got you as a special guest today. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Long time no see.
I know, right? This is going to be a pretty interesting episode because for those of you who watch our podcast normally, we have segments that we do, but we're not going to do that today. So we're just going to do something totally unconventional and just run down some topics that we asked about on Instagram. And people, we're putting pretty much anything out there, no filter. But that's how we like it. No filter is more fun. So the first topic that I want to address is this girl asked that she wanted us to talk about what red flags we as men look for, right? And I'm assuming she means just like in the dating world or whatever. So I can get started, or would you guys want to get started first, or?
I think when you guys get started, let me hear.
Okay, you want to go first, Nolan?
Do I just do one?
Yeah, you can just make as you want. Like whatever red flags you think men look for on average.
Sometimes I feel like they have a lot of guy friends. Not necessarily like they have like a certain amount, but it's more so they have less girlfriends. Maybe like ratios like 5-1, something like that, and just it kind of sends off like a signal in your head, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel you.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. Like, cause you have some girls out here who have like straight just nothing but guy friends. Like she'll be like, one day she'll just hit you like, yeah, I'm gonna go out with like all my guy friends. Don't worry about it. You're good. It's just stuff like that just doesn't fly. And then it's like, I also think it depends on like the age group you're in, because I remember like when we were like 19, 20, we were all like on Twitter, like heavy. So you'd see like a guy that's hitting your girl up, they'll be retweeting it, or like the dude would be like, I've been in the gym all week. Your girl would comment like, oh really? And then like he would DM, yeah, like he would DM her a picture. It just gets crazy. It used to get crazy. I used to get heated off of Twitter, but I mean, I feel like now one of the biggest red flags is like someone who kind of, like me personally, I don't want to be with someone who doesn't kind of have their shit together, or like have an idea of like what they're trying to do, or like have their money like intact, because it's like, we're at an age where you want to go out, you want to, especially after COVID, you want to go out more, you want to just enjoy yourself. You don't have to worry about like the next person's pocket. So I feel like that's huge for me. Like if you don't have at least something together, that's just I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that. I would say for me, I mean, the first one is like lying. That's always pretty big.
Yeah.
Especially
that too. Oh my God.
Like you catch them in a lie, we just started talking, like it's already a no for me. Second one might seem comical because like we see memes about it, but like you guys seen those memes where it's like, oh, everywhere you go, like she's hugging everybody there, and like they all know her. Like I think there's some truth to that, because if she knows everybody, that means at least half of them probably either hit or thought they had a chance of hitting. And there's a reason why that they felt that. So, like she probably entertained it, or like I said, they actually did smash or whatever. But like, yeah, like I'm not saying it's not even coming from like an insecure place, but it's just like, every guy, like every place we go, that's a red flag for me.
Yeah, for sure.
And just like, if you're more looking for something serious, for sure, like if they don't have like a nurturing bone in their body, I mean, the best relationships, both of y'all nurture each other, but like if there's no type of seriousness to like being there for the other person, or if it doesn't feel warm with them, I would say that's a red flag for me.
Yeah. I got another one if you need one.
Yeah, sure. Let's hear it.
I feel like it's more so it's a red flag, and like a big pet peeve is hygiene. And
You said hygiene? Oh, yeah.
Hygiene, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I forgot
you'd be
about that.
surprised,
I don't know how I
man.
forgot
Like,
about that.
it's just like the most simple things, and then like a lot of girls, like you'd be surprised, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That shit could throw everything down. You get an Airbnb with your shorty, she wake up without the teeth brush yet. It's just like, bro.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's kill this room real quick.
Morning breath is offensive. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. So next question I wanted to ask is red flags that we think women should look for. Now, I was telling Vince before, like I want to touch on this topic without feeling like too much of a snitch. But like, what things should women look for? I'll go first on this one, if that's cool with y'all. I would say probably like duplicate social media accounts. I feel like that's that goes without saying. That's if you have another social media account that you're keeping on the low, like there's obviously a reason for that there. I would say if you're like a year in and like you're kind of marketing the relationship as like serious, but like they haven't met, they're like they haven't introduced you to their family or their friends, like, and you're a year in, that's really sus, I think.
Yeah.
And lastly, like I would say how they react to inconvenience.
Yeah.
If they like snap on you, like whether it's physically, verbally, or just throw you under the bus, like if they react to inconvenience in that way, that's probably not a person you want to be with, I would say.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to agree with that. Like, and that ties into, well, like I said, I want everybody to have fun. I'm not gonna drop every bomb, but um, I feel like for the most part, a lot of females need to pay attention to guys that throw out that verbal and physical abuse, because like not only does that ruin their relationship, but it also ruins like your outlook on relationships in general. Like if that relationship fails, the chances of you hooking up with someone else are gonna be very slim. You know, and that's just not good. Another thing I would say to look out for, and it's gonna kind of sound redundant, but like someone who doesn't have their shit together, like a dude who's just like working at Walmart, and he's just like whatever. He's a cashier at Walmart. He just like it's whatever. He just with it, not in school, not trying to do nothing else. Like
Maybe he's a
that's just a
rollback
huge,
man.
yeah. It's just like a huge red flag. Or like he's a dude, like especially the dudes who just make music all day, like they're like an artist, make music all day,
Yeah.
just smoke weed. That's it. Like they're gonna be doing that. Like if you meet him at 20, he's gonna be doing that at 28. So like just look out for that. And something that I learned, like because I've had a couple girls who like would tell me like you need to be more spontaneous. So definitely someone who isn't. So definitely someone who doesn't know how to get out of their comfort zone. Like I'll say that's a red flag, because we live in a world now where it's like, bro, you gotta explore the world. Like you have to be willing to break away from the stuff your parents told you and actually try to tap in to what you could possibly become. Because nowadays it's like you pick up a camera and you become famous. So it's like, why not? So yeah,
Yeah.
I say those are. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't want to rat everybody out, but I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Word. What you got, Nolan?
I would say one is, I think, always going out and partying. Um, I mean, obviously, like, people do that. I mean, going out every weekend's like normal, but I feel like some people would like it 3 4 times a week, instead of like, oh, like what are you doing? And like I'm out. Like I don't know. I just feel like like what like I feel like that just kind of OD on their part.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Because
facts.
then you have a right to question the loyalty. Like if
Hmm.
you're in a relationship and you're out 3 4 times a week, you mean to tell me you're not talking to nobody of the opposite sex? Like
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
unlikely. What else you got?
That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
I'm staying low.
Yeah, okay. I feel you. I respect that. I
Yeah.
respect that.
Respectfully.
All right. The next one is so this is probably the most wild topic, but like pegging, right? So for those of you viewers who don't know what pegging is basically I had to look it up. I didn't know what it was. So the girl that asked me about this, she asked me and I was like, "Oh, what is that?" And I looked it up for myself and it's basically like when a woman wears a dildo and they bring that to the bedroom with the guy, and obviously for pleasure and whatnot. Uh, so there, it's one thing. Like obviously, I think to do that you have to have a little bit of like bi curiosity. No judgment. Like no nothing wrong with being gay or whatever, being experimental and whatnot. For me, it's a no. But like I said, it's kind of like I think of that scene in Scary Movie 2 with like the Wayans brothers where he put like the football costume on.
Yeah.
Hey
It's
yo.
like he was enjoying it a little too much. So I think because there's one thing to be like open minded in the bedroom and try something like that, but to do that, that's so like far off in like a different reality that I think there's something more to that. Like that should be unpacked. Like the girl that asked me about this said like guys have secretly asked like begged her to do it like on a few different occasions. And that's just mind blowing to me. I didn't know it was like a thing or even a big thing at that. But I was wondering what you guys' thoughts were on that.
Nolan.
No, I mean I've heard it before. Before you got it mentioned, I think it's kind of wild just in the fact that it's like kind of like the dominant aspect. You know, it's like if you're a dude doing that, you know, it's like what are you really looking for? You
Right.
know, because if you're willing to do that, then it's like, are you sure about like what you're doing, like sexuality? Like it's just I don't know. I feel like it's, but hey,
Facts.
if you like to do that, like good for you, man. Like
Right. It's just a little confusion going on, I feel like.
yeah, exactly.
What do you think,
Yeah,
Vince?
for me, that's a huge no. But I mean, I guess looking at it from an open mind, like you have some guys, like for example, like you got like Little Yachty, who like paints his nails and stuff like that. I feel like you have some guys who are more like in tune with their sensitive side, I guess you can say. More,
Flamboyant.
yeah, like more. They want to be more. I don't even know if that's intimate. I don't even know if that's the right terminology for it, but like you just
MGK
have
does it too.
yeah, you just, I mean, you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have some guys who just want to connect with that side of themselves for whatever reason. And I don't, like I said, I'm just trying to think about it with an open mind because I know that's the kind of world we live in right now. I mean, the best advice I can give her is just, just look at it from a way in which you really like mean it. Like, if you're not feeling it, just say like, I'm not feeling that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For me, I feel like she probably just put all her clothes back on and dip. But like I said, you gotta look at it with an open mind. But yeah, for me, that's a
Yeah.
huge no.
Right. And for those who listen to this and think like, oh, you're not secure in your sexuality, I don't think that's the case. Like I said, there's one thing to be open minded, and then there's that. Like that to me stands on its own island. Like
Yeah.
that's
No, but
not
honestly, it ties back into the simple fact that everyone has their own like sexual preference. Like everybody has what they like in the bed. Like you like a girl doing it at you reverse cowgirl. Some dudes like it when she's missionary. Like whatever. Like we all have
right
our own, sexual fantasies,
preference.
whatever. If we're really gonna think about it like that, pegging it to me is OD. But I mean, if you want to take it that far, hey, you probably role playing. You might want to feel like the dude with the wooden leg from Family Guy. Like by all means, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just not with that.
Yeah, you'd catch me with chains and whips before you catch me pegging.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. The next topic is let me try to pronounce this right. Hypergamy. So those who don't know, it's basically like when you're with someone, you're either hooking up with someone or you're married to them for like their sociological status. The person that asked me about this asked like, "Do you think all women are this way?" And I think that's like we're on thin ice there because it's kind of like saying, "Is it like a gold digger type of situation?" Right? But I personally feel as though women aren't hypergamous, if that's how you say it. They're not all hypergamous, but they do consider status more than men do, I would say. Like men look at like in terms of like wanting a relationship or whatever, getting involved with the girl, we're kind of looking at like what we're getting here, the whole package, as they do. But they'll make a decision like how much money you make sometimes for some women can make or break the deal. So I don't think they're like I said hypergamous, they're all hypergamous, but they do consider status more than we do. But I was wondering what you guys think in terms of that.
I definitely say like this is the generation for that. Um, we live in a world where everyone is on their phone. You know what I'm saying? Everyone is trying to absorb some type of media. Everyone is just trying to if you feel bored, you just grab your phone, go on TikTok, you watch a couple of videos. So for the people who do stuff like that, I kind of I get it 100% because it's like it's funny. It's like it's like a form of it is happening in hip hop right now. So like every artist right now, they're just like, bro, if you get a feature from Drake, like you're gonna take off. So it's like the same context. Like if you're featured in a certain video from someone that you happen to have a sexual relationship with them, or even be married to them, you know, you're gonna get if you have like let's say you have 1 million followers and that person has 10 million, you're probably gonna get at least 5 million followers from that person based on the content that's being uploaded. And like let's say the relationship doesn't work, like that's your prenup right there. Like you have an audience. You can post a video of your pinky and you get at least like what 2 million likes, and then you probably have K Jewelers or whoever hitting you up saying they want you to be a hand model. So like the possibilities are endless when you're on that level. So I mean, me personally, I totally get it, and I get why people would probably want to do it like in this day and age.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Nolan?
Yeah, I think they all aren't, just because I think they more so look for that sense of security, and I think that kind of comes with that term, So I think it's also with the same thing with like relationships, where they're going through, oh, is this person the right person for me? Can they uh, offend for me? Can they make me secure, like financially, stably,
Yeah.
like all that stuff? And I think it kind of plays into like the same kind of structure of like that term. So
Mm-hmm. I feel that. Okay, the last topic we can hit is what makes men insecure. And I think that's an interesting one as well.
Dun,
But who wants to go
dun,
first on that one?
dun.
Right. I think it's such a subjective question, but which one of y'all want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first with that. I'd say what makes men insecure. I'd say like being with someone who's. I feel like we kind of touched base on this a little earlier, but like just being with someone who is kind of like for everyone else, in a sense. It's like, you know, if you're gonna go to Hawaii tomorrow, like you should be telling me that today. Like, don't make me see the suitcase at 6 a.m. and then you're like, yeah, I'm catching a flight. Like, that's OD. So I'd say like certain instances of of a lack of communication is definitely something that would make men insecure. Um, and telling lies, beating around the bush about simple shit, and like just being like weird with your phone. Like, like if you hear me walking towards you, there's no reason for you to just be switching to like to play Candy Crush. Like you never do that. So what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like
That's facts.
that's
They telling them
yeah,
themselves.
that's OD weird. And I mean, yeah, I think that's for the most part. I think that's if you're dealing with someone who's like secure, it's gonna be a little less than someone who's insecure, like with themselves. Like me right now, I feel like I was probably more insecure relationship wise when I was younger because a lot of things were new to me. Like when you're growing up, you don't really think like people are gonna tell you like lies about simple shit. Like or like if you have a girl, you guys are together in high school, she goes to college. You're not really thinking that if she goes to her dorm room, like everybody gonna be hitting that shit. Like you're not really thinking about stuff like that. So then it's like when that shit happens, it's like damn, like so this is how it is, and then you go through that little stage or whatever, and then when you come out of it, it's like you're a little bit more secure about yourself. So like the insecurities are like a matter of, is it that serious or is it not that serious? So it's definitely so like I said, communication, lying, and just beating around the bush about simple shit. I feel like that's something that can lead to, a guy feeling insecure, depending on where they are mentally. Just leave it at that.
Yeah, I feel that. What do you think, Nolan?
yeah, I had lying too. I think that's a huge thing, just because like, what are you trying to hide? What do you have to like? Like what is the reason behind not being able to kind of tell me what's up? Another one I feel like is like emotional unavailability, and the fact that like it's kind of the same aspect of lying, but it's just kind of like, why aren't you um in, interested enough to kind of open up to me or whoever? Because I feel like there's so many underlying reasons that kind of fall from that, So I think it's like a box that kind of falls into lying and the unstability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So for both of those, I think they speak to like a larger issue because, like, for emotional unavailability, for a lot of girls, they say that's like what they look out for as like a red flag, but those are the guys that are emotionally unavailable. That's who they give the most attention to. Like anybody that sees it, like that's who they give the most attention to. So I mean, but that's like a maturity level too, right? Like if you're young and like
Yeah.
if you're not emotionally mature yourself, you're gonna look for emotional unavailability. So it comes down to that. And then it's funny that you guys both said lying too, because I think, like for us, if we're looking at it like that, like if we're insecure about them lying, and like we don't forget about it. like we can have multiple chances if we lie, right? Sadly, but them not so much because women, it's like a higher demand, right? Like a girl going standing at a bar versus a guy going standing at a bar. There's gonna be way more men hitting on the girl. So if we feel like you're lying, it's because we know there's more than likely someone else. Where if we're lying, we probably just were being stupid, just to be honest. But like, there might be someone there, but it's more scary for us to catch you in a lie, I think, because even though girls swear we all have a million and one options, that's just not true for every guy. But a girl, like I said, easily without like any effort can pull mad dudes. So it's like a scary.
I feel like for us as guys, it depends on how serious you are with the girl. Like if I've been out here for like 5 years and I've been talking to you for 3 months, I'm sorry, but I'm not dropping these holes yet. But like if we talking for like a good 8 months and up, like, and I didn't get caught, like, I'm gonna drop them real quick and be like, all right, boom, like let's really do this, But I feel like it's definitely based on the timeline in which like we're gonna be like, all right, I actually care about this girl, and then like, especially if she's lying to you, like you're gonna be like, damn, I dropped all these girls. I put 5 years in with all these girls. I had one girl making curry chicken for me, another one making lasagna. I dropped all of that. Like that shit hurt. So it's like I definitely feel where you're coming from with that because and then you go through all that to be told lies over and over again, and then you find out like X, Y, and Z is happening. That shit is just it's too much, man.
I think that meme that's like my chest, like that's real.
It really be hurting your chest, like that's facts.
Yeah, I would say for me, my two things that I wrote down is like, men are insecure about you. Like for example, if I have a girl and she takes a liking to someone that has qualities or possessions or whatever that I don't have, that's probably, I mean, not me personally, but like I think on average, men will be insecure. Like if their girl takes a liking to someone that has things that they can't provide.
It's a trigger. It's a trigger.
Yeah, because it's like, like no matter what I do, like I don't have that right now in this moment. It could be a certain amount of money, it could be a certain lifestyle, like, those types of things. And then I would say over flirtiness. I mean, but that kind of like goes back to the whole hugging thing that we opened with, because I think, it's how they say like how you get someone can be how you lose them. Just like for example, like if a girl cheats on her man with you, it's flattering, of course. Like you're like, hey, I was able to pull this girl from her man. But like she may cheat on you in the future doing that same thing. And the flirtiness, like, it's like I said, it's flattering to be flirted with, but like I don't want
to stop you right there, because like that's the dumb shit I used to be wondering about. Like if you like steal someone's girl from them, why do you think she's gonna be loyal to you, and why are you getting upset that she's not being loyal to you? Like that, right. Like that's literally the one thing I've always wondered. Like if you steal someone's shorty from them, why would you cuff it? Like I don't know. That's just I've always wondered that for years. It's crazy that you said that, because like I'm just like, bro.
Just like in general flirtiness, like we all like flirting, but I don't want you to go to Chipotle and I'm gonna be scared you're gonna flirt with the clerk and I'm gonna lose my girl that way. Like, it's like you gonna flirt, but are you gonna like chill on that a little bit, like when we're together? Like those are just things like I said, I shouldn't be fearful of a trip to Chipotle. So
I feel like flirting is definitely something that should be a little natural, but it depends on how far you're going. Like like if I go to Chipotle and I want a discount on that bowl, I'm gonna be like, so you're not gonna put that discount? Like, what's up? But like that's it. Like I'm not cleavage. like that. You know what I'm saying? Like she'd be like but like that's about it. Like I'm not going further than that. But like some people be going in for the kill, and I'm just like, bruh, like you making me hot, and I'm not even in that relationship with you.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know.
That's like, I don't know if you guys watch King of Queens. That's one of my favorite sitcoms. There's like the episode where Carrie gets pulled over, and like Doug wants her to get out of the speeding ticket, by just going on a date with the guy, because the guy asked her on a date, the cop, and she got out of the ticket. And he was like, keep going on dates. Like, what are you doing? Like, we can't afford no tickets right now, because he was looking at like their budget or whatever. And it's just like, that's one thing. But like, they ended up having to pay because the dude knew like, oh, you have a husband, But if we both trying to like get a bargain on something, like, cool, I'll play along. I'm not gonna get mad. I'm gonna be secure in my relationship. But that's something we have to agree on, though. That's not something you just on your own. Like, then I gotta find out, and you could just be like, oh, I was just trying to pay out, get out of paying this ticket. Like that's different, you know.
Yeah, that's facts. And just to like wrap it up a little bit, like I'm just gonna add that, you know, it's all based, like, it goes back to communication as far as the insecurities. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I if you want to be with someone, you know you want to be with someone no matter what. Like, no one can tell you, like, people older than you could say like relationships don't work, they always fail, da da da. You're young, enjoy yourself. But like, if two individuals mutually come to the understanding that they actually care about each other, they want to be with each other, then like honestly, flirting and all that stuff, like depending on the wavelength of it, but like for the most part, you honestly have nothing to worry. You would have nothing to worry about if that's the case. If you have open lines
Yeah.
of communication, both of you guys know what's up. Like, her shit tight as hell every time you hit it. Like, you know, you have nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you straight.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but it definitely ties into communication, and yeah, like I feel like like, so like, just to wrap it up completely, like as far as like red flags between both parties, male and female, focus on communication. Like, if you guys can develop an open line of communication from the beginning, you're gonna be like secure, because communication is the hardest part of anything.
Mhm.
Because you could have someone who gets angry like that, and you could have someone who just like isn't okay with like saying how they feel. Like, you put that fork in the sink last night. It's been in the sink for 3 days. I hated the fact that you did that, but I never said anything. So when you go to Chipotle and you feel like, you know, you want to bring that fork to work with you tomorrow for lunch, you're gonna just leave it in the sink and forget it there, and then I'm gonna be mad again. But like, if I just said
Because it
something,
never was talked about.
yeah, facts. Like, just open lines of communication. That's it. That's honestly all y'all need to be good.
Yeah. And one last thing before we close the episode and this topic, I will say one thing I totally forgot about. And also, like, we'll see it a lot, but like people that are like with abusive relationships and stuff, like those men will be insecure when they know the girl could do better. And that's vice versa. Like, the girls will be insecure when they know the guy could do better. You know, so that makes you more insecure about, you know, what you have going on.
And that shit gets scary, man.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. That was a good switch up from the segments that we usually do. We thank you for joining us, Nolan.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me.
All right, we gotta have you on again. This was fun to do. So
Yes,
thank
sir,
you guys.
anytime.
Thank you guys. Thank you y'all for tuning in to season 3, episode 3 of the What You Thinking podcast. We'll see you guys later.